Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to look at writing linear equations or graphing when given a linear equation. So two different situations. So I like to start with the more visual one first if we can. So if we're given a line that looks like this, for example, and it'll say write a linear equation in the form y equals mx plus b. That's usually what they'll say. Well, let's break this down a little bit farther. So y equals, instead of m, let's say the slope, or oftentimes you'll hear it as rise over run, how much things rise up and down and how much they run horizontally. This is called vertically and this is called horizontally. So rise over run, x plus b. And b is called the y-intercept. Y-intercept, pt. And that word is a whole lot like intersect. Intersect. You've seen that before. And this is the y-axis, and this is the x-axis over here. And the y-intercept is just where our line intersects with the y-axis. So here's our line in red, here's the y-axis in black, and you can see that they cross there. So I think now we're ready to write an equation. And so assuming that these are ones, and they may not be ones, but for now we could say they're ones. Sometimes they may be some other scale, and then you have to be aware of that and adjust accordingly. But for now, let's say it's 1, and we're just counting squares. 1, 2, 3. So we know that our b here is plus 3. And then the best way to do this is find somewhere where these lines meet nicely. Like right there, it meets nicely. The blue lines and the red line all intersect together. Okay? And then we're going to go over here to where it also meets pretty nicely there. You can make these triangles anywhere. So here's our rise, and that equals 1. And here's our run, and that equals 3. But we have to be a little careful. If we start here and go down, that's actually a negative 1. I mean, the distance, you're right, is 1. The length of this side of the triangle is 1. But if you go down, it's negative 1. And if you go to the right, it's positive 3. Oh, boy, that is ugly. I'm going to fix it. Stand by here for a second. If you go to the right, that's positive 3. So there's our slope. Slope of the line equals rise over run, in this case negative 1/3. Okay, we're ready to put them together. So now we have y equals negative 1/3 x plus 3. Plus 3. And that is the equation of that red line. Remember, the 3 is where the red line crosses the y-axis, this vertical black line, and the 1/3 is how steep it is. If that line, for instance, had been something like this, it would be much steeper. And if it had been like this, it would be less steep. It would have a different fraction. For this particular triangle indicating steepness, that is a slope of a negative 1/3. If it had been a steepness like this would be a positive slope, that kind of a thing. That's a positive slope. Once you get past vertical right here, or horizontal, sorry, right here, then it becomes a negative slope. So that's all for this recording. How'd we do? We did it in just right exactly 5 minutes, which was my goal, so I'm happy. Thank you for listening, and I hope this is helpful. And now we'll go on to the second part, which is what if you're given a line, or I'm sorry, given an equation, and you're asked to graph the line. So I'm going to try to do this one in 5 minutes as well. So we need an equation. Let's come up with one. And our equation could be y equals, let's do a positive one this time, positive 2/5 x. And let's see, we did plus 3 before. Let's do a minus 3 this time just to compare the two. Cool. Okay, I had a little delay there, so we're back up and running now. So let's say that you are given the equation y equals 2/5 x minus 3. Well, just like in the first half of this video, negative 3 is the y-intercept, and that's the point where this line crosses the y-axis, which would be negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, right there. And then just the 2/5, not 2/5 x, but just 2/5 is the slope. And we expressed that as rise over run last time. And so, again, you just make a triangle. If you can't find one, make one. That's my motto. So then we say, now both the 2 and the 5 are positive. So we rise up 2 units. And we run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, you start from negative 3, not from the origin 0, 0. This is 0, 0, and we always start from the y-intercept. And we go up 2 and over 3. We don't start from there. That's a common mistake a lot of students make. So now we have our triangle that goes from here to here, and we can just put a line in. And I'm going to put a red line in because I like it. And so the line would go there. And now I can maybe make it a little bit longer. And as always with lines, we want to put arrows on the endpoints. So we want to put arrows on the endpoints like this to say that that line goes on forever. But no matter where you are on that line, notice I can take this 2/5, I can move it anywhere on that line, and it's still the same steepness. And that is called slope, a constant slope for a constant rate of change. So this right here is the line y equals 2/5, and it's a positive 2/5 x minus 3. Just like we said in the first half of this video, if this had been a negative slope, it would have looked like that, something like that. But it's a positive slope, so it looks like that. So that's about it. Hopefully this is helpful, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.